I think it's pretty safe to say that the true face of the Star Wars franchise has got to be Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, with each day that passes by, we are getting closer to the very end of filming for Episode 9 by JJ, regardless of the fact that there were some delays and some reshoots here and there for the month of February that are actually in place right now, which is going to shift filming all the way over until the very end of February of next month. So with that being said, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which has all to do with the moment between both Rey and Anakin Skywalker. Specifically, a description of what's described as a front view of Anakin's hybrid Force ghost. Half of the face is Vader and half the other face is Anakin Skywalker with cracks in his face. A hood is over his head with Rey behind him. The next describes Rey hearing voices and breathing of Darth Vader, and Anakin screams while looking at the figure with its back turned on her. It's said that Rey is holding a blue kyber crystal that is levitating over her hand. Another goes over the Anakin figure vanishing and reappearing in another location in the Lost City, on top of a large structure guiding Rey to a dark place. So I really want to go over a couple of parts about this that are really getting me very intrigued about this movie when it comes to both Sith and Jedi lore that J.J. Abrams will be implementing into the film. Now, first things first, the hybrid Force ghost. What's the deal with this thing? Now, we do know that J.J. is really toying around with this idea and is trying his very best in order to bring it back into the equation here for the Skywalker saga story. So in Episode 7, it was an original idea that never made it to the final cut of the film, and now JJ will be inserting the hybrid Force ghost idea into Episode 9. Now, what's really creepy about this sequence, at least to me, is how it describes it's a front view of Anakin's hybrid Force ghost, where half the face is Vader, half the other part of the face is Anakin's. But the Anakin's part of the face is all cracked, and very much like what we saw in The Art of the Force Awakens of the actual hybrid Force ghost. However, Rey is behind him with an actual kyber crystal levitating over her hand, where she's hearing the breathing of Darth Vader and the screams of Anakin Skywalker. However, in this scenario, the Anakin Force Ghost, or the hybrid Force Ghost figure, actually has its back turned on her. It's not facing her per se, and eventually vanishes and reappears near one of the structures within the Lost City, guiding her to a dark place, most likely to the Sith Temple / Sith Cave that we have been hearing about these past 2 weeks or so. Now, what's really intriguing to me about the character of Anakin and how J.J. Abrams wants to implement a different version of Anakin Skywalker in Episode 9 and actually having scenes with Rey in the movie, it could very well tell us that there is something more to the story here between both Rey and Anakin and why she's seeing the actual Force ghost of this character. Now, it could have something to do with the kyber crystal, and this could most definitely be the kyber crystal of course, the Skywalker lightsaber for all we know. We do know that she will be reforging it in this movie and that she will be going on the hunt for certain Jedi and Sith relic pieces in order to complete the reforge of the Anakin saber. Now, with each day that we are getting closer to the very end of filming, we're going to be seeing more promo material coming out, and we'll be seeing the new lightsaber design, which honestly I cannot wait to see. So Anakin Skywalker, I really want to hear your opinion on all of this. Do you guys think that a hybrid Force ghost is a good or a bad idea being a part of this story? And if we look at everything else here, specifically with the concept of Rey actually having interactions with the character of Anakin, do you guys think that it makes a whole lot of sense? And could this very well be a big clue that maybe she does have a connection to the character? Now, I know a lot of people are, completely don't believe in the whole Rey Skywalker thing, and as well as I don't. I don't really see that necessarily being a big thing at this point. There's still a possibility that JJ could really turn her around and turn her into a Skywalker, but I'm still not quite sure as to why she would see visions and or actual apparitions of the Anakin hybrid Force ghost and why it's reaching out to her. Again, there's a lot of burning questions in The Force Awakens that were left unanswered in, of course, The Last Jedi that will be answered in Episode 9. And one of the burning questions was, of course, why did Rey get called to the Skywalker lightsaber? Why did it call to her, right? And that was one of the biggest questions that were never answered in the movie, and in, of course, The Last Jedi. So in this scenario, we do know that they are using one of the actual practical effects of Anakin for one of the sequences involving the hybrid Force Ghost, so everything is starting to line up here, while JJ is just trying to create a more horror element in one of the sequences, kind of similar to what we saw in, of course, the basement of Maz Kanata's castle, which I honestly thought was quite creepy when I first saw it. You know, hearing the screams of a young version of Rey. It seems very similar, in a sense, to this scenario where she hears screams of Anakin and Darth Vader's breathing. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.